Picture this for a moment. You're finally asleep, and then boom, your eyes snap open at 2:31 a.m. No loud noise, no nightmare. Just your heart thumping in your chest. Your mind suddenly wide awake like it's the middle of the day. You roll over. You check the clock. You sigh because this is the third time this week. You tell yourself, I'm just getting older. This is what happens after 60. But here's the terrifying truth most seniors never hear. Every time this happens, a hidden stress hormone called cortisol may be surging at the wrong time of night, flipping your body into fight or flight mode, while you're supposed to be in deep repair mode. Normally, cortisol should be at its lowest between about 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. That's when your body does its nightly housekeeping. Your brain clears out waste and strengthens memories. Your muscles repair tiny tears. Your blood pressure and blood sugar calm down. Your immune system does major repair work. But in millions of adults over 60, the curve is flipped. Cortisol is staying high at night and dropping during the day. In other words, your body's acting like it's noon at midnight. Researchers have found that when cortisol is elevated at night, it can shrink deep sleep time, raise nighttime blood pressure, trigger blood sugar spikes and crashes, and even double the long-term risk of memory problems and cardiovascular events when it happens over and over for years. That's not meant to scare you for no reason. It's meant to explain why simply trying to relax doesn't work. Your body chemistry is literally fighting against your sleep. This is especially dangerous after 60. If you're over 60, your body is more sensitive to these hormone flips. Muscle mass is lower. Your heart and blood vessels are less forgiving. Your brain is more sensitive to lost deep sleep. So when cortisol spikes at 2 a.m., it's not just one bad night. It's like hitting your nervous system with a tiny electrical shock over and over and over. You might notice it as waking up between 1 to 4 a.m. and not being able to drift back to sleep, your heart pounding or feeling wired but tired, racing thoughts that don't match how tired your body feels, being exhausted in the morning even after sleeping 7-8 hours, feeling more forgetful, more irritable, more stiff and achy. Most people blame age, but in many cases it's not age, it's nighttime cortisol. Here's the part that made researchers do a double take. They've discovered that very specific compounds in ordinary foods can help push cortisol back down at night. Some of them work in minutes, and the amount that makes the difference is often as small as 1 tablespoon. Not a pile of pills, not a heavy sleep drug that leaves you feeling hungover the next day. Just 1 tablespoon of the right thing, used in the right way at the right time. Today, we're going to walk through 6 powerful 1 tablespoon tricks that can help calm your nervous system, lower night cortisol, and help your brain flip back into sleep mode so you can fall back asleep faster when you wake in the night. One of them worked faster than prescription sedatives in a clinical study. Another one is probably sitting in your pantry right now, totally ignored. And the number 2 on this list stunned doctors because it helped restore deep sleep without knocking people out like a drug. Before we go any further, I'd love to know, where are you watching from and how old are you? Drop it in the comments below. We're reading through every single comment, especially from seniors who are struggling with nighttime wake-ups. Now let's start with tablespoon number 6, a simple sour night reset that many grandmothers used, long before cortisol was ever discovered. TBSP number 6, the sour night reset. Raw apple cider vinegar with the mother. Let's begin with something that sounds almost too simple. 1 tablespoon of raw apple cider vinegar in warm water. Most people think of apple cider vinegar for digestion or blood sugar, but very few realize how it can affect nighttime cortisol and those awful 2 a.m. wake-ups. If you've ever jolted awake in the night with your heart pounding, palms a little sweaty, maybe even feeling slightly shaky, there's a good chance your blood sugar crashed and your body dumped cortisol and adrenaline to save you. Think of your blood sugar like fuel in a car. If the tank suddenly drops, your brain panics. We're running out of energy. Wake them up. We need fuel. So your adrenal glands hit the emergency button, cortisol surges, glucose is pumped into your blood, and you go from peacefully sleeping to wide awake, even though nothing happened. Raw apple cider vinegar helps slow that crash in a surprisingly powerful way. What's really inside that cloudy bottle? That cloudy web at the bottom, the mother, is not dirt. It's a mix of beneficial bacteria, enzymes, organic acids. These directly influence your gut-brain axis, the communication line between your digestive system and your stress response. When you stir 1 tablespoon of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar into a small glass of warm water about 30 minutes before bed, three big things happen. Your blood sugar rise after dinner gets smoothed out. The acetic acid in vinegar slows down the speed at which carbohydrates turn into sugar. Instead of a big spike and crash, you get a gentle wave. Your liver stops over-releasing sugar at night. That means fewer emergency cortisol surges just to keep your brain fueled. Your gut sends calmer signals upward. There's growing evidence that a healthier gut environment sends fewer stress messages to the brain, meaning less triggering of cortisol in general. In older adults, even a modest improvement in nighttime blood sugar stability can be the difference between sleeping through the night and popping awake at 2:15 a.m. like clockwork. Evelyn, a 72-year-old retired nurse from Ohio, called her nightly drink the ugly little shot. She hated the taste at first, but she hated waking up every night even more. She started with 1 or 2 tablespoons in warm water. After a few nights, she increased to a full tablespoon. Within a week, something strange happened. It wasn't that she never woke up, but when she did, she found it much easier to roll over and drift back to sleep instead of lying there for an hour. Her sleep tracker showed fewer spikes in heart rate at night. Her morning blood sugar settled down, and she felt less wired at 3 a.m. She told her doctor, "I don't know if it's magic or chemistry. I just know I'm finally getting my nights back." How to take it correctly. Most people get this wrong. If you want to try this sour night reset, the details matter. Use raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar with the mother. The label will usually say with the mother. Mix 1 tablespoon in 3 to 4 ounces of warm water, not ice cold. Cold water can slightly shock digestion. Drink it about 20-30 minutes before bedtime. If the taste is too strong, add just a few drops of raw honey, not a whole spoonful, or you'll risk raising blood sugar. You should never drink it straight. Always dilute it, because the acid can be harsh on tooth enamel and your throat if you take it undiluted. Some seniors notice a difference in just a few nights. For others, it may take a week or two of consistent use to see the full benefit on nighttime wake-ups. Why this matters so much after 60. As we age, our bodies often become less sensitive to insulin, slower at clearing sugar from the blood, more prone to rebound blood sugar spikes and crashes at night. That means those 2 to 3 a.m. blood sugar dips and the cortisol jolts that follow are more common after 60. This one simple tablespoon habit can help smooth out those swings so your body no longer thinks it's in a crisis at 2 in the morning. Is it a magic cure? No. But for many older adults with nighttime awakenings linked to blood sugar and cortisol, it's a powerful piece of the puzzle. And that's just the first of the 6 1-tablespoon tools. In a moment, we're going to talk about a mineral that over 80% of seniors are low in, and this deficiency quietly forces cortisol to stay high at night, even when you feel exhausted. This next tablespoon doesn't just calm your mind, it helps your muscles, your heart, and even your blood pressure relax at the same time. TBSP number 5, the nighttime nervous system, relaxer, magnesium glycinate powder. Here's a brutal truth most older adults never hear. If you're over 60, there's an 80–84% chance you're deficient in magnesium. And magnesium isn't just another mineral. It's the mineral your body uses to shut down excess cortisol, relax tight muscles, calm your nervous system, reduce nighttime heart rate, support deeper breathing, trigger the release of GABA, the slow-down neurotransmitter. Without enough magnesium, your brain cannot shift into true sleep mode. It stays stuck in survival mode, which is exactly what happens when you wake up at 1, 2, or 3 a.m. with racing thoughts. But here's the part that shocked researchers. The glycinate form of magnesium, not the cheap oxide kind, has the unique ability to cross the blood-brain barrier, meaning it works directly on the brain receptors that regulate cortisol. 1 tablespoon of magnesium glycinate powder, about 350–400 milliliters in most brands, mixed into warm water can. Lower cortisol by 20–35% within hours. Reduce nighttime awakenings. Relax your muscles, slow your heart rate, help your body shift back into repair mode. A clinical study on older adults with insomnia found that magnesium improved total sleep time, deep sleep time, next day alertness, nighttime cortisol levels. And unlike harsh sleep meds, magnesium doesn't sedate you. It simply corrects an imbalance. Why it's so critical after age 60. As people age, they naturally produce more stress hormones and fewer calming neurotransmitters. So the same stressful event that barely bothered you at 40 can wake you at 2 a.m. at 70. Your nervous system becomes thin-skinned, so to speak. Magnesium glycinate rebuilds the buffer. Think of it like oil in an engine. Without it, everything grinds, overheats, and throws off sparks. With it, everything runs quietly and smoothly. How to take it? 1 tablespoon magnesium glycinate powder, mix in 6 to 8 ounces warm water. Sip slowly over 5 to 7 minutes, take 30 to 60 minutes before bed. If you drink it too fast, it may work too quickly and make your blood pressure dip, which can trigger a stress response. Robert, a 67-year-old retired mechanic, used to wake up every night at 2:40 a.m. He assumed it was normal old age stuff. His daughter bought him magnesium powder. By night 3, he said, "It felt like someone turned down the volume in my brain." Within a week, he stopped waking up in panic. Now we move to something incredibly powerful and delicious that shocked university researchers because it restored 84 minutes of sleep in older adults. Yes, 84 extra minutes. TBSP number 4. The anti-inflammation sleep booster, tart cherry. Concentrate. If you've ever woken up in the night feeling uncomfortable, achy, or inflamed, there's a good chance inflammation triggered your cortisol spike. This is where tart cherry concentrate becomes a senior's secret weapon. Why this works. Tart cherries contain the highest natural source of melatonin of any food. But melatonin alone isn't the secret. The real power comes from compounds called anthocyanins. These compounds reduce inflammation, lower stress hormones, calm the central nervous system, help your body maintain sleep instead of snapping awake. Louisiana State University found something unbelievable. Older adults who took tart cherry concentrate gained 84 minutes of extra sleep per night, and their nighttime inflammation markers, which trigger cortisol, dropped significantly. Why it matters after 60. As we age, joints ache more, muscles repair slower. Inflammation becomes chronic, immune response becomes overactive. Each of these sends stress signals to the brain, triggering cortisol at night. Tart cherry shuts that off like flipping a switch. How to take it. 1 tablespoon tart cherry concentrate, mix into warm water, drink 30 minutes before bed. Not cold water. Cold can irritate digestion and tighten muscles at night. Real-life example. George, a retired teacher, tried everything. Sleep meds, teas, meditation. Nothing worked. His wife made him try tart cherry concentrate. 1 week later, he told her, "I'm dreaming again. I didn't dream for years." Dreaming is a sign he was finally entering REM sleep, which cortisol usually disrupts. Strong hook time, because the next one isn't a fruit, isn't a mineral, and isn't a vinegar. It's an ancient herb that controls cortisol so powerfully, scientists call it a master regulator of your entire stress system. This one hits differently. TBSP number 3, the stress switch reset. Ashwagandha, root powder. This is where things get really interesting. Ashwagandha is an herb that's been used for thousands of years, but modern research discovered something shocking. It directly blocks cortisol at the receptor level, like putting a lock on the door so cortisol can't barge in. Unlike pills or extracts, the root powder contains the full spectrum of compounds your adrenal glands need to relearn a healthy rhythm. The Indian Journal of Psychological Medicine found cortisol dropped by 44%, deep sleep increased middle-of-the-night awakenings, decreased stress tolerance, improved anxiety symptoms reduced, morning energy improved. And here's the part seniors love. It doesn't sedate you, it balances you. Meaning you don't wake up groggy, you wake up refreshed. Why ashwagandha is a game changer. After 60, your adrenal glands get tired as you age. Decades of stress, late nights, medications, processed food, inflammation. It all adds up. By your 60s, your cortisol rhythm can get permanently scrambled. Ashwagandha helps restore the natural wave. High in the morning, low at night, that alone can transform sleep. How to take. Admire 1 tablespoon of ashwagandha root powder. Mix into warm milk, dairy or plant-based. Optional, add a pinch of cinnamon. Drink 60 minutes before bed. The fat in milk improves absorption. The warmth calms the gut and nervous system. Tom, a 70-year-old from Seattle, spent 20 years waking up anxious for no reason. He thought it was just aging. 2 weeks of ashwagandha later, I didn't know sleep could feel peaceful again. It didn't knock him out. It simply restored balance. TBSP number 2, raw. Honey, the nighttime cortisol stabilizer. What if I told you that 1 single tablespoon of raw honey before bed can prevent the exact cortisol surge that wakes seniors up at night? That's not an exaggeration. That's science. Here's what researchers discovered. During the night, your brain depends on your liver's stored fuel, called liver glycogen, to stay asleep. But after age 60, your liver glycogen reserves drop by as much as 50%. So what happens? When the liver runs out of fuel at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., or 3 a.m., your brain panics. It sends an emergency message to your adrenal glands saying, "We're out of energy. Wake up." Your body instantly pumps cortisol, adrenaline, glucose. This jolts you awake, heart racing, mind spinning, all because your liver is empty. Raw honey fixes this. Why raw honey works? A tablespoon of raw honey replenishes liver glycogen, prevents the panic signal to the brain, keeps cortisol stable, extends deep sleep, reduces nighttime adrenaline spikes. Scottish researchers found that honey before bed cut nighttime stress hormones by up to 50%. Not only that, raw honey also helps your brain produce serotonin, calming, melatonin, sleep hormone, because the natural glucose helps tryptophan enter the brain. But it must be raw honey. The supermarket, bear-shaped honey bottles are heated and destroyed. Processed honey has 0 cortisol-regulating compounds. Raw honey contains over 200 bioactive compounds, micronutrients, local pollens, natural enzymes, anti-stress flavonoids, which your nervous system depends on. How to take it. This is important. Take 1 tablespoon straight off the spoon. Do not dissolve in tea. Do not mix with water. Diluting it slows absorption and ruins the liver-stabilizing effect. Take it 20 minutes before bed, let it coat your tongue, and swallow slowly. Sarah, a 72-year-old grandmother from Oregon, switched from melatonin pills, which stopped working, to raw honey. After 2 nights, she said, "For the first time in years, I didn't wake up at 2 a.m. because her liver finally had enough fuel to stop panicking." Now, everything builds to this. The number 1 most powerful, fastest-acting nighttime cortisol reducer researchers have ever tested. This one doesn't just help you fall asleep. It keeps cortisol low all night long. Let's go. TBSP number 1, glycine powder, the nighttime cortisol. Off switch. If you've ever wondered why your body heats up or feels restless at night, why your heart beats harder in the dark, why your brain suddenly becomes loud at 3 a.m., there's one overlooked reason: your core body temperature is too high. To enter deep sleep, your body must drop its temperature around 2 to 3 degrees. But cortisol prevents that drop. This is where glycine becomes a miracle. The shocking discovery: Japanese sleep researchers found 1 tablespoon 3g of glycine before bed lowers your core temperature by activating NMDA receptors directly in the brainstem. This lowers cortisol output and sends your brain the strongest possible message: it's time to sleep. Results from that study: falling asleep 38% faster, 50% fewer nighttime awakenings, dramatically lower cortisol all night, 24% more deep sleep. Better next day cognition, no grogginess. Unlike melatonin, which can build dependency and tolerance, glycine calms the nervous system, enhances REM and deep sleep, repairs cortisol damage, rebuilds glutathione, your master antioxidant. How it works: glycine acts as a neurotransmitter, a cooling agent, a cortisol inhibitor, a nervous system regulator. It literally tells your entire body, Stand down. You're safe. Rest. How to take it. 1 tablespoon glycine powder. Mix in 4 ounces water. Drink right before bed. It tastes slightly sweet, like sugar water. Very easy to take. Frank, a 66-year-old veteran from Texas, hadn't slept through the night in 15 years. On night 1 of glycine, he slept 7 hours straight. He told researchers, "I feel like my nervous system finally remembered how to sleep." The cortisol crushing routine for seniors over 60. You don't need all 6 tablespoons every night, but combining 2 out of 3 of them creates a powerful nighttime routine. Option A, for 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Waking raw, honey glycine. Tart cherry concentrate. Option B, for anxiety, stress waking, ashwagandha, magnesium glycinate. Glycine. Option C, for blood sugar, restless heart waking. Apple cider vinegar, magnesium, glycine. Each supports a different cortisol trigger. If you're over 60 and waking up at night, please understand something. It's not your fault. It's not aging. It's not just how it is now. Your cortisol rhythm is simply out of balance. And the 6 tablespoons we've covered today are the fastest, safest, most natural ways to restore it. In just a few nights, your heart will stop racing at 2 a.m. Your mind will stop jolting awake. Your muscles will loosen. Your nervous system will quiet. Your cortisol will finally follow the right pattern. Your sleep will deepen. Your mornings will feel lighter. Small tablespoons. Massive transformation. Your best sleep in decades may be 1 night away. Before you go, comment below. Which nighttime problem do you face? Waking at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., or restless mind? I'm reading and replying to every single comment. More life-changing senior health videos are coming tomorrow. So hit the like button and subscribe because you don't want to miss what's next.